Hey everyone, did you know that a mere 5% could actually be the magic number for your health? Seriously, it's true. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to see how losing just 5% of your current body weight can completely transform your whole system. We are talking about rapidly lowering your blood pressure, slashing your diabetes risk, and really improving your cholesterol levels. You really don't need some massive overnight transformation to see incredible, life-changing medical benefits. Just 5%. Today, we're moving entirely past the illusion of quick fixes and those crazy miracle diets. Instead, I'm going to guide you through a scientifically backed journey to sustainable, long-term health. We're pulling directly from clinical guidelines. We're talking the National Institutes of Health, the Mayo Clinic, and some leading nutritional research to show you exactly how lasting weight loss actually works in the real world. So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, defining a healthy weight. Second, the physiology of dieting. Third, strategies for lasting success. Fourth, mastering your daily habits. And finally, exploring plant-based diets. All right, let's jump right into part one, defining a healthy weight. So looking at the clinical benchmarks here, the target body mass index, or BMI, for adults is generally somewhere between 18.5 and 24.9. But, BMI definitely isn't the whole story. Where you carry your fat actually matters immensely. If you're carrying most of your fat around your waist rather than, say, your hips, your risk for heart disease and type 2 diabetes goes way, way up. In fact, the NIH notes that a waist circumference of more than 35 inches for women or 40 inches for men significantly increases this risk. And your actual medical goal? Well, it's not a rapid drop. It's a paced, gradual loss of just 5 to 10% of your weight over 6 months. Because, notice the downward trend here. Even a tiny 3 to 5% drop immediately starts lowering things like your blood glucose and triglycerides. It's really a game changer. Moving on to section 2, the physiology of dieting. Okay, this table brilliantly illustrates the exact physiological breakdown of weight loss, and it's based on Dr. Aisha Vaisal's nutritional research. Look at day 3 here. In the first few days of a diet, 70% of the weight you lose is literally just water. Only 25% is actual fat. And it takes burning roughly 2,600 calories to lose 1 single kilogram in this early phase. But wow, look at days 12 and 13. By the second week, the whole shebang flips. Water loss plummets to 19%, and fat loss jumps all the way up to 69%. But notice the energy cost at the bottom. It takes over 7,000 calories to burn that exact same kilogram now, simply because fat is incredibly energy dense. This is exactly why the first week of any diet feels so much faster, and why true, calorie-heavy fat loss requires a ton of patience and consistency. Next up, section 3, strategies for lasting success. So the absolutely crucial point here is distinguishing between an outcome goal and an action goal. The Mayo Clinic really heavily emphasizes this difference. An outcome goal is just the end result you want. Like, I want to lose 10 pounds. And sure, that's great for motivation, but it doesn't actually tell you how to get there. An action goal, on the other hand, is a specific, measurable, daily behavior. Something like, I'm going to walk every day for 30 minutes. Think of it like this. Outcome goals set your destination, but action goals are the actual concrete steps you take to physically get there. Let's roll right into section 4, mastering your daily habits. Honestly, it all starts before you even set foot in the kitchen. Picture this. You're walking into a grocery store. If you're hungry, every single processed, sugary food on the shelf is basically calling your name, right? That's exactly why rule number 1 is to eat a good meal before you shop. Arm yourself with a specific list, and this is a wild trick. Carrying a limited amount of cash physically prevents you from tossing those random impulse buys into your cart. Once you're actually in the aisles, practice comparing the calorie counts of foods within the same group to make the smartest choices. You're basically actively engineering your own environment for success. And once you get those groceries home, the environmental controls have to continue. Try serving your main meals on small plates. It's a great way to trick your brain into feeling satisfied with less, and you can reserve the large plates exclusively for big, healthy salads. Also, when you finish eating, just leave the table immediately. Don't sit there picking at the leftovers, pack them away into the fridge right away. And crucially, and I know this is a really tough one for a lot of us, don't watch TV while eating. Being mindful and really focusing on each bite without the distraction of a screen allows your brain to actually register when your stomach feels full. It makes a huge difference. Of course, mastering your daily habits isn't just about food. It's also about movement.
The Mayo Clinic guidelines remind us to aim for at least 30 minutes of steady aerobic exercise, like a nice brisk walk, most days of the week, supplemented with strength training maybe twice a week. And hey, you really don't need a fancy gym membership to do this. Finding your inner drive to simply take the stairs instead of the elevator or, park at the far end of the grocery store lot helps you burn those extra calories. It's absolutely the key to maintaining your hard-earned weight loss over the long haul.
And finally, Section 5, Exploring Plant-Based Diets.
Plant-based diets are just a fantastic way to naturally lower your calorie intake while massively boosting your fiber, which is what keeps you feeling full. But it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all approach. In fact, it's highly customizable. You could go fully vegan, eliminating all animal products, or maybe explore the raw vegan and fruitarian paths. If that feels a bit too restrictive, no worries. Ovo-vegetarianism includes eggs, lacto-vegetarianism includes dairy, and pescatarianism allows for fish. You can choose the exact framework that fits your unique lifestyle, making high-fiber, low-calorie eating a highly personalized journey.
I mean, just look at how colorful and inviting this meal is. It completely shatters that old, tired stigma that healthy eating has to be boring or bland. This beautifully aligns with the Mayo Clinic's strong advice to enjoy at least 4 servings of vegetables and 3 servings of fruits every single day. When your food looks this vibrant and tastes this fresh, eating well really stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like a daily reward. And what's truly amazing is how modern nutritional science allows us to get incredibly creative in the kitchen. If you're missing familiar textures while transitioning to a healthier plant-based diet, well, you have so many cool options now. You can use aquafaba, which, by the way, is literally just the liquid from a can of chickpeas, to recreate the fluffy texture of egg whites in your baking. Or you can use vital wheat gluten or soy mince to brilliantly mimic the hearty texture of meat. Making healthy substitutions for your favorite classic meals is literally easier now than it has ever been before. So we've covered the clinical benchmarks, the real physiology of fat loss, and the daily tactical habits for success. Now I want to challenge you. Don't just let this be another explainer you watch and then completely forget about. Take the facts you've learned today and commit to just one step. So I have to ask, what is the single action goal you are going to set for yourself today? Will you commit to a 30-minute walk, or maybe just making a grocery list before you shop? Choose one realistic action right now and start your journey to lasting health. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.